Welcome. I don't know if anybody wants to talk sports after last night's sterling exhibition of football.
Man,
Game was bad.
It was.
That game was bad last night. Now, if you're a Seattle fan, you're jumping up and down. They played well enough, especially defense.
I was going to say defensively, especially in that secondary, they look good. They look real good.
It's interesting, the NFL, what's the single most intriguing thing in the NFL right now?
Probably Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ratings are off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears-Chiefs game was the number one rated show for the entire week. I have not seen the ratings yet for Sunday night's game, but one has to imagine the same story.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what people are being, there's obviously she has her own segment of fans. There's no getting around that. She does. And they're watching because she's attending. Because she is that kind of draw. You can see that across, all across the country and all the concerts she has. I think she has a movie coming out it's just a few weeks, if not this month, it's next month, about the tour.
Where the cinema, yep.
A movie about the
she's...
tour. Well, it's going to sell out everywhere.
Yeah.
But that is what they're going to do.
She's going to be the first artist to gross over $1 billion. Going to actually be closer to $2 billion in terms of a tour. And
I mean, look, there's a lot of things that I could care less about.
Mm-hmm.
But that's on a personal basis. To me, it's all about the games.
Absolutely, same.
So I don't care if she's at the game.
No, I don't either.
But there's a segment of the population that does.
Yep.
And it draws more people to watch the game. Plus, the demographics are completely different about how young they happen to be. And everybody has been struggling to get that 18 to 34 market to watch TV. Well, just her mere presence has changed that for the NFL. But every time you turn around, it's like, there's football in London. So, right? There's football in Frankfurt. So, like, that's supposed to be a draw for me?
Yeah.
That's a draw.
If football in London was a draw, they wouldn't be doing it 2 weeks in a row. And that's where I think you really look at that and say, okay, there's definitely something going on here. That's if you're drawing it so well, you're hyping one game, you're selling that game out in minutes, and you're building the hype for the following year or maybe somewhere down the road. You're not doing it 2 weeks in a row like they're doing, and putting the same team no less. They're 2 weeks in a row.
Right. But they promote it like it's a big deal. Oh, the London series starts. What? Because there's going to be football at 9:30 in the morning?
That is about the only thing to me that I think can draw the casual fan in. That there's a football game before the football game. So I think it's
a big deal in London.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, but in terms of here,
Frankfurt.
Here, no.
I don't care. It means nothing to me. I mean, guess which population base major game what it is today. America. I know you're trying to expand the base out. I understand that. Make more of a worldwide game, whatever. That's fine, but is it a draw for an American fan to sit there and go, ooh, they're playing in London? So what?
Yep, not at all.
Right? They're playing in Frankfurt. So what? Okay. It's one less home game we have. Okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely, and that's the way you look at it domestically, big time. Where The Jaguars are going to lose 2 home games here, where it's like, they don't draw in Jacksonville. It doesn't matter. You're home when you're in Jacksonville. One way or another, you're not home when you're in London. And you go back to Major League Baseball when they dangled around, and they not only dangled around, they actually did it. Started the season in Japan or where? No, you don't do that.
Being at the NIT, and there's like the Cubs were playing somebody.
The Mets,
in Japan. Okay, it was the opening day.
Yeah, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and you're playing baseball.
The Red Sox and Yankees played in London,
It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't, especially when you are opening America's pastime in another country. It just doesn't make sense. And I'm not saying don't play a baseball game in Japan, don't play a game here and there, but you're opening the season with a 3-game series, not in your own country. When you call it America's pastime, it just made no sense.
Yeah.
Just like 2 weeks straight in London it doesn't make any sense.
It's but they think that's like a draw.
No, it's.
I mean, the biggest thing to happen in the league this year is Taylor Swift, and who knows what.
No, I don't think
how
about
close
it. No.
Travis Kelce. I have no clue, nor do I. It's none of my business.
No.
But she's been showing up in games.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. There you go. Sports is really interesting. You have, I've talked about this many times. If you were to tell people in sports 10 years ago, not going back 20, 30, 40, that you'd be getting this much money from media, they looked at you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Good point.
Wow. I mean, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Imagine what they would have thought 20, 30, or 40.
Especially on TV deals.
Yep.
I was going to say flagship deals. Absolutely.
Radio deals are not cheap.
No.
It's always half of people always talk about, you're the radio deal.
You're in a fight for a flagship deal.
You would be surprised.
Yeah,
how high
I'm not.
You would be surprised, I think, how high the bid is.
It's
because it's up this year.
Yep.
You'd be surprised at the numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, look at Major League Baseball, and the Yankees came available. Now they're the Yankees. I get that part, but look at the bidding war between FAN and CBS and a lot of other people. Yeah, that's
right.
That absolutely.
With all the money they're getting from media deals, obviously people are getting paid more money.
Sure.
But you've got to keep figuring out ways to get the fan in the stands. And they keep coming up with all these various ways of doing it. Let's do this giveaway and that giveaway and this giveaway and that. I'm talking about, baseball or whatever. And baseball attendance was up 9% this year, by the way.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better.
Credit's due. They were up 9.
Well, they have.
In fact, it may have been like 9.7%. I mean, it was really up there.
Yeah.
Right? But here's one for you. You could roll back the prices a couple of bucks a ticket.
Mm-hmm. And baseball, to their credit, has.
You know why? You're getting all the media.
Sure. And baseball, to their credit, has done that for the most part. They've done their best to keep those premium games at a premium, but they've also moved, April or September or late August, hey, go to the ballpark 7 straight days for such amount of money. Go to the ballpark on a pass for. They've done a pretty nice job doing that. I will give baseball a lot of credit, and I think, I give the Phillies credit. They're one of the teams that started it, where they had the pass, and then the Cardinals followed, and a lot of other teams followed suit, where you had the ballpark pass, where these fans were able to go to games really at their leisure. And that, to me, is going to introduce the casual fan, because look, I'm not going to go to Philadelphia 20 straight days, but I have tickets for 20 straight days. Other people can go, and suddenly I'd probably be staying in Philly. Yeah,
it's just the way you want.
Yeah, that's.
Now they're no draw. I mean, if they went to the Chiefs Jets game, they would not be showing them in the box.
No. They might show them in the box, but it's not Taylor Swift. I don't know if anybody right now has the presence media-wise in the palm of her hand like her. And it's been a while. It really has. And that was before the NFL ratings have skyrocketed. To me, I look back at what she's done in the last 8 to 10 months. To me, I can't in recent memory think about a craze and a popularity. Look, she's very popular to where it's reached that level. There's no way.
Okay, so I have tip-off times
Nice.
for basketball. So everything's done in increments.
Nice.
Delaware State, the opener, on Monday, November 6th, will be at 7 p.m. It's on Big Ten Plus.
Nice.
Friday, November 10th with Lehigh will be 7:30, Big Ten Plus. Tuesday, November 14th, St. Francis will be at 7 o'clock on BTN. And then, for the first time ever, Penn State basketball appears on
Peacock. I knew it was coming.
Morehead State, Friday, November 17th, 7 p.m. Then they go down to Orlando. The game with Texas A&M is, we've already known for a long time, this game is at noon. Okay? And that's going to be on ESPN. Like, well, ESPN, up to the ESPN event, they own it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So this has nothing to do with the Big Ten or anything like that. Then they'll play again on Friday at either 11 a.m. or 1:30. And then they'll play Sunday to be determined. You know, it depends on, where you are, how many wins you have, and so forth. Then they come back for Bucknell on Saturday, December 2nd. That's at noon on BTN. Then their Big Ten opener at Maryland on Wednesday, December 6th. That's on BTN. That'll be a 7 o'clock game. The game with Ohio State in the Jordan Center on Saturday the 9th is at 6 p.m. And that is on BTN. Okay. I can quietly tell you that there'll be another game in between Ohio State and the next one that's on the schedule with Lemoyne, but they haven't announced it yet. But when they play Lemoyne on Thursday, December 21st, a mere 4 days before Christmas, Jason, all decked out.
I used to love
7 o'clock game against Lemoyne on
Peacock. You better believe it.
There you go. And Ryder, December 29th, is at 2 in the afternoon. I knew that would be an afternoon game. 2 in the afternoon on Big Ten Plus. Then they go back to the Big Ten at Michigan State at 7 p.m. at Michigan State on Thursday, January 4th. And that game's on Peacock. Sunday, January 7th, Michigan at the Palestra, BTN at noon. I knew that was a noon game.
Yeah, you knew that was going to be an earlier game.
I knew,
yep.
I knew it was going to be a noon game. January 10th, Northwestern, Jordan Center, 6:30, BTN. Saturday, January 13th, at Purdue, 2:15, BTN. Tuesday, January 16th, Wisconsin at the Jordan Center, 9 o'clock at night, BTN. Saturday, January 20th at Ohio State, noon BTN. There's nothing like a Saturday game.
I know.
Noon, where you're back by 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm liking the Saturday schedule this year. I think our complaining has finally reached. It's gotten a little better. If they're taking baby steps.
They got 2?
They have more than 2, don't they?
They got 2.
They only have 2 home games. Saturday.
Ohio State and Indiana. Let's see another Saturday home game here for Penn State. So I missed it. I guess there's 3. Minnesota. Yeah, 3. Minnesota, Indiana, and Ohio State. Then they had the off week, so then Saturday, January 27th, Minnesota, 6:30 at night on BTN. Wednesday the 31st at Rutgers at 8:30 on BTN. It's going to be a late night. Getting back. That might be a 2-night hotel thing for old Steve.
Yeah.
Steve may go about halfway back and find a Marriott. Saturday, February 3rd at Indiana, noon on Fox Sports 1.
No.
Thursday, February 8th, Iowa, Jordan Center, BTN, 7 o'clock. Sunday, February 11th at Northwestern.
That'll be an earlier tip.
1 o'clock.
Yeah, no doubt. That's Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Wow. So, let's see, 1 o'clock. Go to 3, 3:30. Out of there by 4. Probably on the plane by 5:15. Probably back somewhere in like middle of the first quarter. That's fine. Wednesday, February 14th, Michigan State at the Jordan Center, 6:30 BTN. At Nebraska, Saturday, February 17th. Oh, thank you. Noon. BTN. Thank you. Here's why I say thank you. You know how many times I've done a game in Nebraska on a Saturday at
9 o'clock at night. Yeah.
9 o'clock. I mean, 9 o'clock at night. I'm not kidding.
I know.
9 o'clock, you're sitting around.
I've been here. It was painful enough.
And all of a sudden you're getting off the plane. It's very, very dark.
Yeah.
Very, very dark. It's like, okay. Noon. Thank you. Wednesday, February 21st, Illinois, 6:30 BTN. Saturday, February 24th, another home game, this one with Indiana at noon on BTN. Tuesday, February 27th at Iowa, 9 o'clock BTN. Oh, see, that's like at Iowa at 9 o'clock. Let's see, so that game's on a Tuesday at 9 o'clock, so 11 off the air at 11:30 Eastern Time. It's, let's see, be to the plane by about 12:30 because you're going to go to Cedar Rapids. And then in the air, I would say you're going to land about between 2 and 2:30 in the morning. Yeah. Great. But, you know, I'd like to point out, we're all about the student athlete.
That's right. Yeah, they've emphasized that a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't have made that game 7 o'clock? Yeah. On a Tuesday, sure, they got to go to class, but we're about the student athlete. Saturday, March 2nd at Minnesota, 3:15 BTN, that's not bad. Sunday, March 10th, Maryland, 7:30 at night on BTN. And the Big Ten tournament is the 13th through the 17th. It says on Big Ten Network and CBS, no. First two nights, the first night on the 13th, those are both Peacock games, I believe.
Should be.
Yeah, didn't quite get that part right. So there you go. There's your men's hoops schedule with tip-off times. Wowzers. Okay. All set.
Like it.
Now you can make your plans.
That's right. Plenty of time, too. Plenty of notice.
And I fully expect that there will be another game in between Ohio State and Illinois. We just have to wait for them to get it finalized. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you are. There you are.
No 6-day kickoff windows in basketball this year.
Well, no, basketball doesn't do that. Every once in a while at the end of the year, they'll have an either-or.
Yeah, which is fine. You at least know ahead of time on either or.
One game.
Yeah.
The football thing.
It's terrible. I've preached to the choir many times, but yeah, it's just same here.
I've said it 1,000.
We have to be there regardless. It's the fans that are. That's how I am. It's the fans that should know way ahead of time.
It doesn't matter. They can tell me the day before.
Yeah, you still have to be there.
So let's take like the tournament in Orlando. Now I'm not going to do the Friday game because obviously I'm leaving after the noon game. But the game's either at 11 or 1:30 based on the result of the Texas A&M.
Yeah. Well, in that case, you don't.
I'm saying from the professional point of view, I don't care.
No.
Okay. You just tell me what time. If it's 11, we're on at 10:30. If it's 1:30, we're on at 1. I'll work overnight, get it done. That's my job.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. This is all about the fans.
Yeah.
Every time I complain about stuff, it has zero to do
with us. No, it's all about the fans. Absolutely.
It's always about the fans. So now back to the 6-day windows. Right? The Big Ten, now I don't know if it's in there or not, but they should have demanded no 6-day windows.
Yeah.
And guess what? They're bidding for your product.
Especially now, especially now where you have that extra network bidding. You have, there's no question. I think in terms of like, the one you just named, the tournament, that's fully understandable even from a fan's perspective because you don't know.
And that's just so we use the Big Ten tournament, for example. You don't know.
You don't know.
You know what bracket you're in.
Exactly. But it's literally
day by day.
Yeah, I'm talking about we know way ahead of time. Penn State plays Rutgers, for a prime example, and instead of setting the game time November 6th, we got to set it November 12th. For what reason, I don't know. I've never understood that. I still to this day don't understand it, and it makes the fans' job a lot tougher. Yeah, especially if it's a game you're on the fence of going to. You're going, what Rutgers is here this year. Collegeport, Maryland, prime example. You're pondering making that 3-hour trip to College Park, 3.5-hour trip to College Park. You don't know the game time before 6 days prior. How many people change their plans? I'd say there are some.
Sure, there's some. We get asked all the time, and people ask us all the time, what time do you think? And honestly, we don't know.
No.
Okay?
No. There are some you have a good idea on, but for the most part, no.
You've got to be kidding. They make it seem like it's the most difficult decision on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the games are on October 14th. I haven't looked. But I bet if I looked, I could figure out right away what should be prime time and what should be the middle of the day.
Yep. No doubt.
And
especially when you know ahead of time, the networks ahead of time know they've got the pick of a certain game that day. If they want it, then no doubt about it. It absolutely should be.
They act like it's the most difficult thing on the face of the earth. Cut me a break. You pick first, you know which one you want.
Yeah.
You pick second, you know
which one you want. Sure.
You know which weeks you're picking first, second, and third.
Yes.
I mean, come on. It's the fan who buys the ticket has to count for something. And you have to work harder than ever. You have to work harder than ever
to
get that fan to make the extra step. That fan that goes to the stadium, the arena, the rink, whatever it may be.
Especially the one that takes the road trip. Even more. You're getting them.
Okay, the road trip is one thing. Okay? I'm talking about getting them into your stadium 7 times a year. The road trip, that's your choice.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay? If you want to go and you want to do it, that's fine.
That's your choice.
It's their game. It is. It's a home game. It's not yours. But it's the season ticket holder. Right? Or even somebody who wants to watch 1 or 2 games.
Right.
And you're sitting there and think about it. They plan all week. Okay, so let's take the 3:30 homecoming game with UMass.
Right.
It's homecoming. Do I want to go up Thursday night or do I want to go up Friday morning? Do I want to go to the parade? Do I want to, where do I want to go someplace to eat? So in other words, I have to pack to go. Oh, and by the way, I have to go to the grocery store. And last I checked, grocery prices are up.
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
Inflation's getting better. Excuse me, I'm over here in the back. Have you been to a store? No, it's not getting better.
Sure it has.
Sure it has.
When I put that pump of gas in the car, it's clearly getting better.
Okay. Do you ever leave Washington? I'm asking. Do you ever go out the big wide world out there? I can tell I'm being lied to. I'm over here in the checkout line right now. Yeah, I'm being lied to.
In the checkout line where my 10 items are equal to a cart full that was 6 years ago.
I can tell. Excuse me. Thanks so much. I agree.
Yep.
I got to go pay gas. Right now, here's $3.95?
$3.95, yeah.
Believe it or not, suburban Chicago,
Yeah.
it was $367. Why the heck
Is
so
it
much
cheap?
more expensive here?
Yep.
Now, it doesn't mean, now downtown Chicago's over $4.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going out from Evanston, and you have to go through neighborhoods, Skokie, Morton Grove,
Yeah.
and so forth to get out toward Rosemont and then get out to the airport. I saw one station was $367. I'm thinking, why are they 32 cents or 28 cents a gallon less than here? That made no sense to me.
No.
But that's a different story. But you got to pay $3.95 a gallon for gas.
Yep.
All right. So now I packed. I bought groceries. I bought gas. I'm spending more money than ever on the groceries. I'm spending more money than ever on the gas. Now I drive. Now, let's face it. Pennsylvania is as beautiful a state as there is on the face of the earth. All right. In fact, I saw an article in Country Living magazine. They were talking about fall foliage. 55 places in the country. Wellsboro was 9th. Right?
Nice
the
place.
state, by the way, needs to do a better job of promoting how great the state is.
Yes.
The state is great.
Sure.
I love the state. All right? But you're going to make the drive. Okay? It's going to be October 13th, whatever, okay, for the October 14th day. If it's a day like today, it's going to be a beautiful drive. But you still have to make the drive. Right? Which then, in the end, the last few miles, you're going to deal with the traffic. If you come in the day of the game, you really deal with the traffic. All right? If you want to get a hotel, you don't have to pay for it too. Okay. But say you go in the day of the game. Yeah, you're going to skip the parade, the whole thing. Jason Lord's not the grand marshal, so you know what? I got it. Okay? I mean,
people are lining up to go now.
Hey, that's like your own silent protest. I understand.
I pay them well.
But you go in the day of the game.
Sure.
At the end, you got to fight some traffic. Okay. Then you pull into the space. You set your tailgate up, and you feel like every mile you've driven has been worth it. Right. Friends that you see all the time when you come to a Penn State game, they're there. They bring you by some new friends. It's a blast in the parking lot. I mean, the parking lot is a blast. I mean, let's face it. When you have a day like today,
sure is.
The parking lot, I mean, that's just fun. People enjoying themselves. They may be playing cornhole, throwing the ball around, having a couple of beverages, food, right? And laughing and talking. Okay. Now you go up and you see the team. All right, well, maybe you want to do that. You go up and do that. Then you go in the stadium. Right? Let's face it, the centerpiece of the whole thing is physically going to the game.
Sure.
All right. Game's over. Now you go back to the tailgate. You're now second guessing everything that happened. As the right, hey, you bought the ticket. You bought the ticket, so yeah. I don't understand why they ran on third down. I don't understand why they
you got it. You got it.
Yeah, but that's fine.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay?
No.
That means you watched. You're
and you're invested into it. Exactly. You're paying attention to the game. I never did.
I have no problem with it.
No, as long as you're critical within reason, absolutely.
As long as you're not personal.
Exactly, not personal, not saying things you shouldn't say.
Yeah, you put all this effort.
Yes.
That's fine.
I agree.
That's great. Okay? But then, the tailgate finally winds down. Usually, the pack you run with is usually about 2 in the morning, something like that.
At a primetime game, forget about it. It's 2 in the morning the following day. But yeah, noon game, about 2 or 3.
A lot of complaining in your tailgate about the fact that you're never the grand marshal.
I know. It's sad.
But then you have to pack up. Right? It takes time to pack up. Maybe you have a tent, or tables, chairs, whatever, food. You have to pack it all up. Okay, you got to take care of the garbage, throw that out, the whole deal. Boom. Get everything into the van, the car, truck, whatever it may be. Now you got to drive home. Okay, hey, I took a little bit, may have to stop and get gas on the way back. Maybe on the way back, maybe you got to stop at a Rutter's, a Sheets, a WOWY, whatever it may be.
Sure.
All right. And then when you get home, you have to unpack everything. think about the time investment
Big time.
that fan made to do everything I just talked about. I mean, to do everything, as opposed to the person that sat down, and I said this to all due respect, I'm glad you're watching the games, but just sat down in their living room and went, it's halftime, we're going to get a sandwich. So, and my point is not to compare the person watching the game, right? Because 2.8 million, for example, watched Penn State, Iowa in prime time.
Sure.
That's great. Right? But the person that makes the investment to go to the game and invest, we've talked about Taylor Swift on here, right? I mean, it's one of the 8 topics you put down, 7 were Taylor Swift. I mean, I don't understand where you're going here. Right? It's like, it's a sports show.
I would have eliminated those 7 immediately if I wrote them.
Well, we're talking about, but I mentioned her, we mentioned talent.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah, same thing. Popularity, absolutely.
No, well, also, but entertainment.
Entertainment, sure.
Entertainment dollar. You could have spent your entertainment dollar on a couple of concerts. You could have spent your entertainment dollar on movies. You could have spent your entertainment dollar going to the theater, going to New York, whatever. You may have elected to spend your entertainment dollar by going down to the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Something, okay? But you elected to spend your entertainment dollar going to a game here. And not only that, to go to 7 of them here. 7 of them. And it's that kind of time and money investment that is platinum.
Yeah.
It's platinum. It's not gold or silver. It's platinum to do that. So now back to the original premise. You can't tell that fan 12 days ahead of time what time the kickoff is? And this has zero to do with Penn State.
No, absolutely. I was going to say that. Zero to do with the schools, period.
Zero to do with Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, Maryland. It doesn't matter, okay? They have nothing to do with it. They are at the mercy of what the networks say. And, we're paying all this money. Hey, you want to know what? That fan over there? See the fan over there? You want to know how much money they're paying? Okay? They may not pay the millions you're paying, but on their budget,
I was going to say, their budget, exactly. They're paying a lot on their budget. I think that's the point right there. Absolutely.
The darn kickoff is.
Yep. And to the school's credit.
And they make it seem like it's some sort of jigsaw puzzle. Just do it.
It's not. Yeah, and it's not. And that's the frustrating part, I think, from a fan's perspective. To the school's credit, they always do everything in their power on a 6-day kickoff to get it out there Saturday, to get it out as quick as they possibly can. A lot of the schools will always do that. And that's they're absolutely not at fault. For them, they understand the fans' perspective. They do everything they can to get them the time as quick as they can. It is not them that is putting that 6-day window in there.
Right. The networks are doing it.
Yeah.
Right? That's all.
The networks who have had the game, in most cases, for a lengthy period. Not all cases. There is 2 games going back and forth on each other in the networks. I get that. But, I don't get the fact that you don't know it well before that time. But for the most part, these networks know what game they're taking that week. Sure. And they know darn well where they want to put it. They know their TV schedule through the rest of the time slots. There's no reason. There just isn't. There's not.
I didn't say we had to know 19 days.
No.
I said 12.
Yeah. The NFL, you know well in advance.
Right. 12 days out. College football's the only one that does this.
Sure.
Every once in a while, the NFL will flex again.
Yeah,
but they have to flex the game a month
I was going to
out.
say they also do it. I was going to say that they also do it pretty close to a month out. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Major League Baseball doesn't do this. The NHL doesn't do this. The NBA doesn't do this. Right? College basketball doesn't do this.
Nope.
But college football, we need a 6-day window. For what?
For what?
Because you have the inability to not think.
Yeah.
Right? Here are the games. Here are the records. Here are the ratings draws. It doesn't take much.
Nope. Where did NASCAR start to lose their fans? When they started going to the corporate sponsorships, which was fine, but then you completely went away from the audience that made you who you were, without a doubt. And that's where NASCAR's popularity tumbled. You could never get tickets to Pocono Raceway in the late 80s, early 90s. Not a chance. Now, granted, yes, the most popular driver, tragically, we lost him in the Daytona 500. And as obviously, did that impact it? Yes. But Mike Helton takes over. He takes a sport, and it is a sport. And I know there's a lot of people that say it isn't. You take that, you get away from the fans, you put the race on Tuesdays half the time, and it's literally just frustrating from a fan's perspective. You take them out of the equation, look what happens. And that's what happened with NASCAR. And that's one of many examples.
Mm-hmm. And it's just, when you start doing that, to me, every decision you make has to be around the person that is.
That is absolutely. Right. They're putting their time into it.
I realize TV's important. I'll never forget Don Canham at Michigan was talking about, hey, look, we have 1 or 2 games on TV a year. It's still the fame and the money that they bring into Michigan Stadium that makes the difference as to, what we do financially. Well, that's changed. I mean, that's changed. I mean, you're getting more money now from the networks. Sure, does it drive a lot of things? But you can't have the tail wag the dog all the time. And guess what? They bid on your product for a reason. They need the programming. They want it. They think you're critical of the programming. Got it. Okay? And right now, live sports, you want to look at the top 100 shows of the year, 90 plus of them happen to be sports.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Live sports. And that's the way it is. But you can't have the tail wag the dog. Okay? You have to have the ability and some common sense. Again, I'm not saying you announce all the kickoffs before the season.
No. But 12 days is plenty of time. Yeah.
Right? 6 days? Come on. You're not backhanding every school. Like it's a privilege that we're going to kill your game. Not really.
Yeah, that's exactly. That is the approach they take. Absolutely.
Really. It's like, oh, we're coming to town. Oh, good for you. That's good. It means I'm going to be in the stands. I really don't care what
network's on. That's true. Yep.
Yeah. That's the way it goes. You're telling me now they could not announce Ohio State, Penn State?
Yeah.
Of course they can.
Yeah, they certainly can. There's not a shadow of a doubt. And see, that's a prime example right there. That's a prime example of what I was talking about. You know the network. Well, most of us know the network that's got it. There's no question.
Right.
The guy calling the game has all but said they have it.
Right.
There is no reason they can't announce that time now. You know you have the game. Right. You're not deciding between it's either going to be on such or such. You know you have it. You know your schedule that day. Major League Baseball, hint, hint, has announced their schedule that day now.
Yeah.
You have no reason to not announce your game time.
Right.
None. Right. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the prime example of the
common sense.
Completely.
Right. And it's almost like there's a need on some parts out there that, look at us. Like, no,
sure.
Like, show some common sense.
And you don't need to.
And I have very little respect for people who have no common sense. So I really don't.
I think you have a back following of about 2 million on that one.
I have very little respect for people who have no common sense.
Absolutely.
Sit there and go,
well, and that's typically the ones who act like they know everything and they have no common sense.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Know it all? Oh.
Yep.
You sit there and go, really? Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Stop thinking.
Yes. Literally.
Okay.
Literally.
Do yourself and me a big favor and stop thinking. Okay. Yeah. This is stuff Jack and I talk about all the time. Like, where's the common sense of something like this? We're like, what is that? Like, I don't know. So your Phillies, you don't really like teams in the area, but this is one you do root for. They had the Marlins to start off with.
And that's, I'll tell you what, it is a concerning series because the Marlins, for some reason, over the years, have been able to play the Phillies well and have had them. Yeah, that's a good point, but still, it's always concerning.
I don't care about over the years.
As a fan, I worry about it.
I always hear that. Again, let's go back to common sense.
As a fan, you worry about it, though.
I tell you.
As a fan, you worry about it.
Over the years, what? These players haven't played them in this. It doesn't matter.
There were players on the team, though. That's as a fan, you remember that. You look back and say, "Oh man, history tells us," and that's why you worry. And look, it's the playoffs. If it was the regular season, I wouldn't be concerned whatsoever. They've had their number all season. You look at.
Is Nola going to pitch tonight?
Nola pitcher is a Wheeler. I want to say it's Wheeler.
Because I'm going to talk to Scott Fransky. About 90 minutes, I'm going to talk to Scott. Scott's really good.
He's incredible and had massive shoes to fill. Yeah, absolutely.
So who's going tonight?
I thought, let me double check this, but I suspected.
Maybe it's a bullpen night.
I hope it's not a bullpen night.
That would drive you nuts. Opening game, it's a bullpen night. What?
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
Still looking it up.
I'll tell you, they don't give it out very easily. I for some reason thought Wheeler, but I could be wrong on this one.
Oh, for God's sakes. All right, I'll look it up myself.
Yeah, I know.
I thought I'd rely on you.
How about it?
But you know what?
Here we go. Pitching matchups. Yes, it is. I believe it is going to be Wheeler. Yeah, Wheeler and Luzardo. Yep.
That game is tonight. That's the ESPN game tonight, by the way.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
And, Jesus Luzardo.
Yep.
And Zach Wheeler out there. Schwarber had 47 home runs. How many singles did he get? I'm not joking about that.
You're not wrong.
I'm not joking about that.
You're not wrong.
Let me just see. Schwarber, because at one point he actually had one more home run than singles. Let's see. This year, he had 115 hits. 20, 67. So he had 67, which is 33 plus 15. He had 48 singles and 47 home runs. And hit, 197? How about that? That's remarkable.
The guy you had as your leadoff hitter. Yeah, that's,
yes.
That's.
But I said, okay, when he was with the Red Sox, what are they going to do with him? I'm like, you better re-sign him. Nope, didn't re-sign him. Okay, intelligent. Rangers play this afternoon against Tampa Bay. That's at 3. And the pitching matchup there, Jordan Montgomery against former State College Spike Tyler Glasnow. So they will play at 3 this afternoon. Next one up will be the Blue Jays and the Twins at Target Field. Target Field's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful park.
Yeah.
Love that park. And that's going to be on ESPN at 4:30. Kevin Gausman, who pitched against the Spikes at Medler Field, LeBron Park, when he was in Aberdeen, will be against Pablo Lopez. Will be on the mound for the Twins. All right, first of 3 there. So ABC, Rays, and Rangers. ESPN, Blue Jays, Twins. ESPN2 has the Brewers and the D-backs. And Arizona's going to go with Brandon Pfaff and Corbin Burns, the former Cy Young Award winner on the mound for the Brewers, and that'll be at Miller Park. You ever seen Miller Park?
I have not been there at all.
Stunning.
No, I have not been there.
Stunning how big it is because of the retractable.
Because the roof, yeah.
The building's huge.
Nice.
Huge. And of course, the Phillies tonight, Luzardo against.
Yep. Nola's game 2. Yep. I'll tell you, I think, to me, the storyline of the playoffs, well, the Phillies are going to be a big story, obviously, because you want to see if they can get back to the World Series, and you're potentially going to have a Phillies-Braves and rematch. Yeah.
By the way, day to day.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, something tells me today.
Yeah. Day to day will be the day he plays, I think. But I think the other story to me of the postseason, when you're looking at it, the number 1 seed in the American League, and that's the Orioles. So I think that back in the postseason, really on what is going to be.
In 2021, won 52 games?
Yeah.
52 games?
Yeah.
2 years later, they went 101.
Yeah, 101. And what does it also tell you? You build through your farm system sometimes. You don't go try to buy championships. And you look at the teams that have won World Series. You look at when the Yankees had their era. That core four was homegrown. You look at when the Phillies won in '08. Quite a bit of that was homegrown. There's big reasons why. Look, I'm not saying plug in free agents. Those teams did and did it great, did it well. But it speaks volumes to when you are able to get your own guys and develop them. And the Orioles have done an unbelievable job doing that, and they still have an unbelievable minor league system waiting for them. It's gonna be nice to see. To me, the park that really started all these trends in baseball that we're seeing in Camden Yards. Lovely park, one of the best. Still one of my top 3 favorite parks. And it's going to be nice to see that stadium electric. And you've not seen it in some time, and it's going to be very nice to see it. You just hope and pray Angelos can keep this team going. He does. I hate to say that he doesn't screw it up.
They signed a 30-year lease.
They did. Yeah, they did. They finally last week. That was huge. But you just hope they can make it right. They can continue to do this. Because you can't sugarcoat it. Ownership in Baltimore has been a problem at times. It's got to reach the point now where you keep these fans in. You keep this excitement in Baltimore, because Baltimore baseball, to me, when the Orioles are good, it's good for baseball. Not necessarily as much as it is for the Yankees and the Dodgers and the Red Sox, obviously, or the Phillies for that matter. But when the Orioles have a strong team, it is good for baseball to have that city of Baltimore.
They're fun.
They are, absolutely. And you have the rich history of one of the greatest to ever play the game, obviously, who had played in consecutive games. You have the history of one of the nicest players to ever play the game, and we unfortunately lost last week in Brooks Robinson. You have a good history there. You have three guys that have 3,000 hits. One, unfortunately, has never used steroids, period, and then failed to test. But I think, to me, that is a tradition, and you want to keep it there in Baltimore.
One quick note. I don't usually get into too much media.
Yep.
But I will with this. Rodney Harrison was interviewing Chris Jones. Now, I think this is the show that's on Peacock.
I believe so.
Okay, it was not on, because when the game's over, it's Melissa Stark talks to the two players of the game. They come back. Mike Tirico and Chris
Collinsworth. Yep.
Preview the 49ers Cowboys is what they did. That, and then they sign off. But there's another show, and I think it was NBC's postgame show on Peacock, I believe. Now, Rodney Harrison is talking to Chris Jones. And he says, was Zach better on tape than you thought he would be? You can be honest. After Jones was complimentary of Wilson's play and growth this season, Rodney Harrison doubled down, dissing Wilson in his follow-up question. Watching that tape, man, you had to be like, this dude is garbage. You should really tear him apart. Harrison then cut Jones off when he said Wilson was special and just needs time to grow. I think he had a special night, but you have to prove that you're special over time. You're special. Okay. I pointed this out a lot, but it's worth pointing out again. And if anybody should know, it's Rodney Harrison. And I'm talking about anybody that played. Yeah. Anybody that played should know above all how hard it is to be there.
Sure.
To get there. You're not garbage.
No.
Okay?
No.
Is Zach Wilson one of the top 15 quarterbacks in the NFL? No, of course not. Okay? And wherever you rank him. But guess what? He's in the National Football League.
Which is, absolutely. And that's...
Yeah. And that's
absolutely.
And that's the part that gets me. In other words, other guys at your position are better than you. Okay. Right?
Yeah, and quite a few of those guys have been around a lot longer than you.
696 individuals that are in the NFL taking 53 rosters.
Sure.
1,696. In a world that has nearly 8 billion people in it. You aren't garbage. number one, right? Any reputable person is not garbage, right? Now, there are those who have done unseemly things in their lives. That's why, you can't put them in with people who go about trying to live their lives and do the best they can. Anybody does that, you're not garbage in life.
No.
You're not a garbage football player. There are 8 billion people. 1,696 are in the league. And if anybody should know, it's the man in the arena. Rodney Harrison was the man in the arena with the Chargers, the Patriots. He's played on the biggest stage. You watch David Tyree catch a ball on his helmet. He was right there on the coverage. Okay? But, so, I don't understand why somebody who was in the arena would call somebody in the arena garbage.
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all. Rodney, you walked the same hallways he did. You in the same practices.
Sure.
No, doesn't mean. And remember what Zach Wilson was when the season began. He was not one of the 32 quarterbacks in the league. He was quarterbacks 33 through 64. He was a second stringer. And they brought in Aaron Rodgers to be the first string guy. And I saw that and I thought, to me, it's one thing, because I'll hear young people talk about players on shows or whatever, and they're like, hey, garbage. And I'm like, oh, okay, you're just not mature enough to do the show.
Sure.
You don't understand.
Right.
But to have somebody that has been there, done that, played the game, practiced the game, been coached in the game.
Been coached by the very best.
No, but, but it doesn't matter if Belichick was his coach.
Yeah.
Right? It just matters that, like, he's been.
You've shared the locker room. You've been in that same spot.
And that's something where you sit back and go, wow. Why?
Yeah.
Is somebody who has done this and has had great days. And by the way, Rodney Harrison also had some days that weren't so great. Because that's just the nature of the sport.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, you're going to have, if you can have more great days than mediocre days, man, you've had a great career. And he had more great days than mediocre days. But he had some mediocre days.
Sure did.
Because they all do. Everybody does. In every single profession. Well, you've been pretty close to perfect. But I mean.
Well.
I know you're tempted to brag about it. But
only mediocre when I delivered papers. I blame the interference.
doggone patches and bug just creeps up on you.
But no, I absolutely agree.
That's what strikes me.
Yeah.
Is that you were in the arena.
Yeah.
And the old Theodore Roosevelt speech about the man in the arena taking the slings and the arrows. And Zach Wilson, first of all, gave a very good account of himself the other night. Now, do I think he's a great quarterback? No.
Oh, he's still got a lot to learn, but he's still
got
young.
A long way to go.
Yeah.
Could he get there? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'd be a guess on my part.
Right.
I don't know. Right. But he's garbage.
Yeah.
You're looking at his tape, you had to think he was garbage? Like, garbage. And when you're sitting there getting ready for a game, when I'll watch a tape, I'm looking at two things. I want to see the quality of the player, and I want to see the highs of the player. And then you want to see if there's something there he's not quite as good at. But I'm always looking to see what are they good at. I never walk away after watching a tape of an opposing team and go, he's not good at anything. Like, no, I've never done that. I'm like, well, he does this, he throws the run well, he throws the short ball really well, deep ball not so great, pocket presence, things like, but I never walk away and say, that's all bad. Never. And you always have to go in with the mindset, and Chris Jones is correct. You have to go in with the mindset that, like, all that good stuff you saw on tape, is the stuff you're going to see. That's the assumption
Absolutely.
you have to make, is it's the good stuff you're going to see. If you can maybe force them into some bad stuff, great. But that's not what your mind has to tell you. If you go in saying, well, force him into some bad stuff, he's bad, and also like, how come he's slinging the ball over the yard here?
Yeah.
Every player has to go in with the idea that the person across from them and the person they're playing, like all the really good stuff on tape, and everybody puts down good stuff on tape. Everybody does.
Sure.
Right? It just may not be as a high volume, and there may be more problems than pluses, but everybody's got pluses. You got to expect you're going to see all the pluses. And then if you can force the other stuff to happen or it happens naturally, okay, great. But I was completely baffled by that.
Same. And even just from the perspective of, number one, it's a guy that's been there. But the other part of it, Chris Jones answered your question.
Chris Jones.
Move on.
Chris Jones
handled it
with great
perfect
dignity, poise, and respect for his opponent. Right? And again, what gets me is that Rodney Harrison was in the arena. Was Rodney Harrison ever criticized in his career? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but right?
Quite a few.
Because everybody.
Yeah.
Brady's been criticized in his career. Joe Montana, despite what you think.
I was involved in that criticism in many playoff games.
Oh, you're just so low. No wonder the dog went out. But I mean, even the greatest of all time.
Absolutely. Sure.
We're criticized. Jim Brown. He only won one championship. Like,
Kobe Bryant only won one MVP.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Forget about the fact he won 5 rings. Yeah, and it's just it's frustrating to hear that terminology. Period. I hate it. It's just, how many times have you heard Tony Dungy, who's done NBC for many years, use that word? Never. No, because you have respect for those that have gone to the same field you've gone to. That have played on that field, those that will be playing on that field, because to your point, there's so few that have that chance. There are so many don't even get the chance to get to the college level. It stops at high school. There are even more when it gets to college. It stops there. It is very difficult to reach the professional level. Very difficult, especially when you reach that level and you are playing on Sunday. Even more difficult. It's just, and it's frustrating to hear Rodney Harrison say that, and I just hope he is sympathetic in some way, that knowing that he made a mistake, because if not, it's uncalled for. You just don't do that.
No, you don't. The credit belongs to the man who was actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat, to quote a Theodore Roosevelt. Rodney Harrison was in that arena. Zach Wilson.
Same.
Was,
yeah.
Right? And I never heard anybody call Rodney Harrison garbage.
No.
There are people that get mad at him.
Yeah.
But,
well,
and if anybody should know not to call somebody garbage, it's somebody who had a career.
Yeah. And worked to get to that career, too. And that's the other part of it. You're not talking number 1 overall pick. And it is, and it's just, it's...
second overall pick.
Well, Wilson was, yeah. But it's just...
Now, if you want to say he's not the best quarterback out there, absolutely.
No. Yeah.
Or what did he show in the game that maybe he didn't show on tape? Why don't you ask that question?
Mm-hmm. You can even ask, were you surprised what he showed you and then in performance? Yeah. Stop there.
Right.
That's not the worst question, but when you call a guy trash, come on.
You've been offended when you've heard it before, haven't you?
Probably. They may have. I think they called me a lot worse than that. There's people that would be escorted out when they're calling me names.
Oh, that's where we'll end it. I'm telling you, 2024, you're the Grand Marshal of the homecoming parade. I'm telling you, the campaign has started now. We're going to start
the campaign. I'll tell you what. They're going to have to get their people's going to have to contact everybody else's people. We'll make this work.
Sad you have people.
That's a small list, a very small list. Half are in the building.
Oh, there's no celebration for your birthday. You may have to reevaluate your people.